Hopefully we don't have as much of a disorganized start as we had a few weeks ago at Barcelona, waiting for that green flag to come out, which it has now. The drivers are now going to be on their way down that start-finish straightaway and into turn number 1. It's going to be that Dynaco Racing team, the pole sitter, number 95, leading them the first time by through turns number 1, 2, and 3. Some drivers going side by side with some rally action for the HWT Motorsports number 24, a little bit farther in the back. We're taking a look all throughout the grid. Some drivers being movers and shakers already, trying to get some moves done. Meanwhile, in the LMP3 categories, that number 7 car, currently driven by Cass Boschus in that Work Sim Racing number 7 car. He is leading them in the LMP3 category over the Rising Panda Racing number 47 in P2 Trackside Racing Team, rounding out your podium as it stands at the moment in the LMP2 category. Meanwhile, over in the LMGT3s, it is that Mercedes, a Restec Reporta Corsa Mercedes to be a bit more precise, number 73, leading them at the moment, actually building a little bit of a buffer very early on in this race. They already have a 2-second gap between themselves and this team, the Revolution E Racing number 74 Audi.
That's a problem for our previous race winner, Cimatech Sensations. We're going to take a look here at the 47 Rising Panda car. A little bit of a struggle there, but hopefully we'll figure out what's happened to them. Probably with nowhere to go, and then had to try and take it to the outside, and the 22's just in the perfect place to take advantage of it, and makes the move up the inside and into the lead.
Of course, right in front of the driver that's currently running in P17. You can see possibly trying to get a move done, heading into the Adelaide hairpin, maybe making contact. That was a matter of inches separating themselves and the number 21 Tri-State Racing car. I feel like it's starting to come down a bit heavier, and that could be helping out these drivers, but again, side by side, Digitrax trying to get that move done on the Tri-State Racing number 21 car. They're going to be stuck on that outside line, and I think they will be able to clear them. Oh, actually, no, they're still side by side. A little bit of net code contact, it must be said. Heading down that small little flat out blast before the Imola chicane, still side by side, and spinning off the track is the Tri-State Racing number 21 car. Garrett Spence goes around the American, was running inside the top 15 in the LMP2 category, definitely inside the top 20, knocking on the door of the top 15. However, some hard battling with the 99 Digitrax car ends in tears.
Yeah, 2-1 normally doesn't go there. Yeah, initial bit of contact, and then they came back together as both cars were unsettled, and 3 at S-Rail. So wide moment there from the Work Sim Racing car, and out to the white line, and you do not want to get onto the white line when it's wet here. That is basically like driving on ice. So I would expect these guys to try and hang on to the wet tire as long as possible, just so that they can hit their fuel number, as Michael Simpson in the Tri-State Racing up the inside into the Adelaide hairpin, and just bogging down on exit. Is that job done? I think it is. Up the P14. Strong move there from the 12 car there, Joe.
You brought this up earlier, Jamie, as right as I say that, we have an incident involving the Dynaco Racing team. And who is that? That's an LMGT3 car stopped on track for sure. It's a Porsche. I'm not exactly sure what Porsche it is, but we will take a look at a replay of it. Heading down the back flat-out blast on this lap, heading into the Lycée section, and that was just a kamikaze dive, it must be said, from the Dynaco Racing team. The number 95 making contact with the 94. Thankfully for the both of them, I think they got away with that incident fairly scot-free. As you can see, the 78 taking avoiding action and having to weave through the both of them, as that's a spin for a BMW. I believe that may be the Tri-State Racing number 3. Yes, it is. Driven by Adam Coop, the Brit, having a spin and a major point of drama heading through turn number 3, going for a spin in front of a hornet's nest of LMP2 cars. That had to have been terrifying.
Certainly was. I think things are getting worse out there, especially for the LMGT3s. None of them are setting even. Okay, that wasn't a self-inflicted one. That's a little clip off of, I believe it's one of the LMP2s.
Team that they're trying to chase in that Mercedes, now extending their gap to 21 seconds. But right now, the LMP2 fight, Dorian Lievre trying to get the move done to take P2 in the LMP3 category. The Rising Panda Racing had a big curb whack.
It's such a difficult corner, and now that it's wet, so yeah, out onto the white line, out into the paint. Yeah,
there we go.
That is a bog standard, straightforward spin in the wet on.
Another replay of the 47 car going wildly off the track. They're running in third. Well, they were running in second, then they shot down to third.
behind the wheel there in GSE car, and Benjamin Heilman in the Race Ventura car. So, a little bit wide.
Ooh.
And there we go. Once again, you do not want to get onto the outside paint. And yeah, straightforward move there for Race Ventura. Oh, these guys are really starting to struggle now. Yeah, it's locking the rears. Get that bias a little bit further forward, my friend. Oh, difficult out there. I'm pretty sure it is getting wetter. Whoa, there we go again. Oh no, it's just all falling apart for the Rising Panda guys.
Team running 5th in the LMP3 category has cratered as we have a wreck in the LMGT3 fight. That's a JJ Motorsports Porsche that we saw have a moment with an LMP2 car not very long ago. Evolve Racing was involved in it, and Squadra Veloci by ERS are destroyed. You can see pretty much the entire back end of that race car is off the track. This was heading through the first few corners at the start of the lap.
Okay, so let's unpack this. So the 74 has already dropped it. Please don't move forward. Oh my goodness. So, okay, yeah, and then the idiot's gone off on their own accord somewhere. Okay, right, so it's all kicked off. It is getting wetter. It must be. You wouldn't see an incident like that if these guys just aren't getting flat out caught out. Hopefully the idiot can actually just get moving and trundle back to the pits. However, I suspect that might be a full course yellow.
I don't think they can.
No, okay.
Oh, so it was contact.
It was contact. So, yeah,
that was a disaster of epic proportions coming through the first few corners at the start of the lap.
Rising Panda 47, so they can finally come in and service once the pit lane gets opened and see what happens. So this is what happens in 94. It's just a total overcommitment on the way in.
Gap is up to 15.5 seconds now, so I guess I'm not very upset as that's a spin and a big incident involving 2 LMP3s and a GT3 as well. LMP3 car locking up the brakes. Yeah, you can see I think that's a 99 coming in like a bat out of hell, and he's going to clean both of them out from Race Ventura in that number 78 as they are putting on moves left, right, and center, trying to get a move done on, I believe that is the Race Ventura camp, because the man they have behind the wheel is incredibly fast as a spin for Dorian Lievre running 2nd in the LMP3 category for 69. Avoidable contact with car number 98 as a Dynaco Racing team number 95 goes for a spin coming out of turn number 3, I believe.
Yeah. About 4th as there goes Heilman up the inside. Don't need to be taking any
3 wide
moves. 3 wide with the NOP around.
He spun around. Paul with themselves and the leader in the LMGT3 field running wide, hang through Estoril yet again. Be careful on the rejoin. He's got to be spinning around. Is he going to end up in the barrier? No, he ends up in the gravel truck for sure.
I feel like that's inconsequential. 7 car, leader of LMP3 off the road. It is definitely getting wetter. I don't think this is conditions for dry tires, and in fact the 57 moving to the Delta Racing, so that's the 41 with João Carlos Cunha off the road, and yeah,
another incident coming through turn 3. If I'm very much mistaken. As he runs wide, mightily wide, hang through 180. That's going to allow Dalil Akbala to get that move done, to slot his way into 5th in the LMP2 class. These 2 cars are separated by barely any air, only 0.6 of a second, heading through at the start of lap 40 and running wide off into the gravel. Be very careful here on the rejoin. Race Ventura hit that gravel. It stopped them on a dime, and now very close. Oh my God, with that decision, because they've fallen outside of the top 10 now. I think in fact they've fallen outside of the top 15 as we have some battling inside the top 15 involving the Restec Reparta Corse number 43 trying to stick it around the outside of the Dynaco Racing Team 19, going down that back flat out blast, about to head into the Adelaide Hairpin. They're going to single file out with the number 19 car remaining in P11. You can see them heading through turns number 1 and 2 right now. Got some cars a little bit farther in front, and there was contact with themselves and the Race Ventura 78.
And going and try and pick up some positions from here towards the end. I spoke to someone, didn't I? Oh dear.
Yeah, possibly. That's oh man, Edwards off. That car is destroyed.
Over the curbs. Again, still looking okay. And then to the inside. Oh no! Oh no!
Who was that in the BMW? That was the number 3 car, I think.
Yeah, it was number 3.
That race car is... Oh, actually, no, never mind. The green flag is already out. My apologies. I thought it was one more lap after the one we were on, but nevertheless, the race is back underway. It's Rising Panda Racing with Michael Loeffler behind the wheel, leading them back to green. Eagle Speed Academy running in second, and that's the number 69 car, the SJ&H Motorsports car, going off the circuit. Be very careful on the rejoin. That's Harry Conway going for some rally action, rounding his way through turn number 1 and 2 at the restart of this race. Another driver going off the track as well. These drivers shuffling for grip. They're also going to be dealing with mist, the strongest and biggest amount of mist that they've had to deal with so far in this race. Hopefully we can get through this restart clean. Right, I say that a Restec Reparto Corse number 43 goes off the circuit. That was heading through, I believe that was turn number 1 and 2. Not ideal for the drivers involved in those rally action moments. A little bit farther in the back. Field is all kinds of spread out as another moment. This being another World of Sim Racing team. That's Adrian Sabela in the number 51 car. He's gone off the circuit, that time on the exit of the Adelaide hairpin.
Able to build pressure and temp into the tire. So it's a vicious cycle where you can't get grip because you can't drive quickly. You can't drive quickly because you have no grip. So it's a huge challenge out there for these guys. Hopefully it'll settle down and calm down ever so slightly as we work forward here. But yeah, eyes now on the World of Sim Racing number 15 and the number 29 Work Sim Racing car. And move done there by the Mustang on the Porsche. So swap the position there. P6 now for the Work Sim Racing Mustang. Down the outside goes Saul Sanchez Flores. That's very brave. Gets it tucked under. Don't go out there. Oh,
as that's a Delta Racing number 4 car off the track. That was heading into turn number 15. So another car going off the track. It was first an LMP3, now it's an LMGT3. And the World of Sim Racing Porsche. We'll take a look at another angle. You can see a spinner. Yeah, spinner farther in the back. And Steven goes for a spin into the corner. Stopped on the outside, so I think there's someone coming in here for some extracurricular brownie points. You wouldn't really call it brownie points. You can see that Porsche going in, understeers, and that was very, very close. Maybe he didn't serve a slowdown. And this is an incident involving the J&J Motorsports. Porsche has gone off the track yet again as missing a bumper, going to leave that behind. Take a look at a replay involving Ted Edwards in the Race Ventura car going around the outside with a car blinking on his inside, and that was the 4 sending him around for a spin. Maybe my perspective was a little bit different from that, but I think I saw this is a game of cat and mouse between these two. They close back up and then bring themselves back together as Evolve Racing has gone off the track. This is towards the beginning of the lap 2. You can see he stopped on the far side of pit exit, I believe, and here is the replay of what happened, and you can see him go off the track. I think may have disconnected, possibly. Yeah, my replay may be a tiny bit glitched out here. I think there is some sort of major drama going on there, because it looked like, at least from my perspective, he just completely left-hooked it into the inside wall. But either way, regardless of how that incident happened, as we take a look at another angle of Thomas Gontier in that Evolve Racing number 57, there had to have been some sort of major hardware failure there.
With these heavy... Oh my goodness, no.
Oh no.
Volker Vivo.
It's all come undone. GSE Racing Esports has had a collision, and you can see one of the one of the Fords involved.
VR Racing.
That, I believe, VR Sim Racing has gone off the track as well. I'm not sure if that's related or completely ignored and removed from the GSE Racing Esports off-track moment. That, I believe, was heading either into the Nürburgring chicane or through it, and here is the replay to see exactly what happened to Volker Weibusch.
Oh, okay, right, so that's lost. Oh, that's a big crash. That's huge.
I was going to mention, talking about the track conditions, the track is getting... Actually, nope, as I say that, perfect timing, as Focus Racing is going to be able to take the lead in the LMP3 category with a nice move on Rising Panda Racing. That was heading through turn number 14 when they finally got the move done, and maybe... he's got to lose it as he runs wide. Locked up the fronts, didn't lock up the rears, locked up the fronts, heading into turn 15 and right... maybe. Just
Yeah,
oh my God. This car's going off all over the place. An incident involving the Eagle Speed Academy. Alex Bayens behind the wheel for 85 car just got involved in an incident that I think, I'm trying to figure out exactly where that is on the racetrack. That I think is heading through, that's to head their way into turn number 14. Tries to get a move done on the LMP3, the Rising Panda Racing number 47. Let's take a look at a replay to see what happened to the 11th place runners in LMP2.
In LMP2 and 1.5, I believe, in LMGT3 so strong stuff from those guys overall, and yeah, these conditions do sort of it's a bit of a wobbler moment there for the 95, but does stay ahead.
Cannot discern what that is. I may need to get my glasses prescription changed here, because I am that or being on the air for the past like 3.5 hours has made me a teeny tiny bit loopy, but nevertheless, I think we should move away from that discussion and talk about 3-wide action in the LMP2 field, with Gabriel Bousseler in the Dynaco Racing team actually splitting the middle between himself, the Simatech Sensations number 20, and I believe the HWT Motorsports number 24. That was a slick move from the driver of the number 19 car. Had probably about 5 minutes to go at this point, but right now you can see going for the send is Bart in the Tri-State Racing number 12, getting the move done to take the lead in LMP2. Incredible stuff from the driver of the number 12 Tri-State Racing car. He gets it done to take the lead. For now, we'll just have to wait and see if there's any sort of extra challenge from the Restec Reparto Corse team. You can see incredibly sideways. That was coming out of turn number 10, and you can see nearly into the dirt was Bart Matage coming through onto that small little flat-out blast before the Imola chicane. Bart Mataya in that Tri-State Racing number 12, pushing it to the absolute limit. And I think this goes back to a point that we mentioned well earlier on in this broadcast, Jamie. Drivers are going to be playing chicken with each other, whether it be going for some bonsai passes, as we just saw from Bart in the Tri-State Racing car.
Straight on, as around goes the second of the Restec Reparto Corse LMGT3s, and oh no,
There's contact.
No.
Oh, and those are teammates as well, I think. Is that?
Yeah.
Yes, that is. That's a Restec Reparto Corse LMP2, currently being driven by Andre Valero, number 43 car. Oh, be careful here on the rejoin. He nearly got T-boned by the number 4 LMGT3 car. Here's the replay to try and figure out exactly what happened to Brian Toccacelli. You can already see the front end damage on that car, so I'm curious if there was some other extracurricular incident that caused him to pick up that damage. Simple spin on the exit of the corner.
They're recently out of the pits, so straight fight to the end. As oh my goodness, how has that not ended in tears between the 95 there and the 87? So Dinoco versus MV Skin Lab. Wow, I mean, it's everywhere you look, there is something happening.
Involving the Dynaco Racing team number 95, heading their way down into the Adelaide hairpin, and you can see an aggressive, really aggressive dive bomb move from the 95, and you can see those cars hit.
Oh, no. Never mind the stop and go for the 68. It's Mix Benito in the Focus Racing car has jumped back in, I guess to relieve Luis Trinidad. And it's gone horribly wrong for him.
Number 5 car, a colossal error here. Taking a look at, I think maybe it wasn't an error. Let's see. Oh, it wasn't an error. It was a 78 car, sent them off the track. An American Civil War takes place in that class, as now the Restec Reparto Corse team runs wide, coming through turn number 3, and it gives the lead to the Work Sim Racing Mustang. Now leading this race, Corbin Lenaway is behind the wheel of that car, and this was the team that took a shock win 1 month ago for the last round of the European Sports Car Championship. The real question is, as this track begins to dry with the rain not falling down anymore, will he be able to come back into his own, as there's a crash involving the leaders in the LMGT3 category? Alessandro, oh my god, that's a hit for both of those cars. Corbin Lenaway lucky to get away with that without any sort of major damage. Be careful on the rejoin here, Corbin. He may pick up a penalty, possibly for an unsafe rejoin. rejoin. But either way, however, this is a major wrench thrown in the works for this fight. Not only because these two cars have damage, that also changes the complexion entirely. At this point, if you're Alessio Corallo, you're thinking, hey, you ran me off the track, you ran into my car, and you sent me off into the barriers. He hasn't brought that back down pit lane, as another car has gone off in the LMGT3 field and nearly gets hit by the SC competition by TSR Corvette. But I have a feeling that if they knew that the Work Sim Racing car had to come down pit lane, they wouldn't be forcing the issue as much as they are. They came in, we heard from our producer Samuli that it was lap 78 the last time the Work Sim Racing car came in. He's lost it over the curb in turn 2, and that gives the lead to the ResTech Reparto Corsa Mercedes. Real in that gap. Tri-State Racing ran wide, hang through turn 14. This may be City's opportunity. You can see them pulling out of that draft. They're going to be side by side, careening their way down into turn number 15, as an incident will be reviewed for post-race involving the 22 car as they make contact heading through the final few corners at the end of this lap. The white flag, I believe, is going to be in the air. It's going to be one more time around, and more contact between these two drivers. There are no love lost between these two drivers. They aren't happy with each other, but ResTech Competition is going to get that move done around the outside. ResTech Reparto Corsa gets that move done to slot their way into P number 1 in the LMP2 category on what we believe is the final lap of the race. There may be some stuff to review, though, and it's still not over yet. Tri-State Racing, they're going to be in the mist, they're going to be in the draft, and they're trying to get a move done. Heading into turn number 5, he's not going to be close enough. The 22 hits the apex beautifully, as does the 12. This is a straight-up fight between these two drivers. We'll have to keep our eyes on to see whether or not there's some sort of penalty issued to car number 22 or to car number 12 for the contact they had, let alone the incident that's going to be reviewed further post-race involving City in that 22 car. But right now, rounding their way around turn number 9, 180, one of the most challenging corners on this lap. It's a corner where many a driver have gone for a 180 spin in this race. Thankfully, the front two in the LMP2 category aren't going to be called out by that. They got some more lap traffic to deal with. I don't believe we are on the white flag, though. I think they may have to come around another time. I don't see the white flag graphic, at least from everything that I've seen. Alessandro City, though, he is leading it. Currently about a second between himself and that Tri-State Racing number 12. All credit where credit's due to the Tri-State Racing team. They put on a fantastic show, but it's not going to be enough. Rounding their way around the final 3 corners on this racetrack, and Alessandro City, who had to fight like hell to get the job done, is going to take the checkered flag victorious here at Magny-Cours. ResTech Reparto Corsa, they take the checkered flag as the winners in the LMP2 category. And look at this man. He had to wheel it. You can see the off-kilter steering wheel in Alessio Corallo's car. ResTech Reparto Corsa, they had to fight like hell in LMP2 and LMGT3, but they're going to get the double, rounding his way on that start-finish straightaway, and it's victory in that Mercedes 3 over Work Sim Racing, who came within 2.5 seconds of going back-to-back. And meanwhile, in the LMP3 category, Christian, behind the wheel of the Rising Panda Racing 47 car, they win in LMP3 in dominant fashion. 1 minute and 31 seconds separating the front two in LMP3. And here are the results from a dramatic 4 hours. Awesome stuff, though. But I think for this broadcast, around number 2 of the European Sports Car Championship at Magny-Cours, that will just about do it. A fun day of racing action, 4 hours of madness. That is the only way I can describe it. Singing in the rain for the winners and crying in the rain for some of the drivers that ran into some trouble, but still absolutely incredible from our perspective here in the broadcast booth. And we hope you can tune in for the next race of the season in about a month's time. And so for myself, Ron Mullins, Jamie Fluke joining me in the commentary booth, and Samuli Kuma doing a wonderful job working all the cameras in the virtual production hauler, I say thank you all so very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all again wherever it is in the not too distant future.